Hello world, welcome to the C Squared podcast, the countdown podcast you didn't know you needed. Every week, besides going over hot topics in the world, we will be debating and ranking our top 10 favorite things like artists, movies, video games, and more. I'm your host CJ, and today's episode is a spoiler review. This conversation came after watching Spiderman No Way Home, and this conversation is between myself, Carmelo, and Nitro Saki, but this is a complete spoiler review. If you have not seen the movie and do not want to be spoiled with anything in this movie, please don't listen. But if you do listen, let us know what you think, comment down below, and hope you enjoy. He literally did that with Venom. I swear that's what he did. Like he said,
well, no, but my thing is,
I
knew that was the setup of the movie. Okay, they are now trying to completely separate Spider-Man from the Avengers, Spider-Man from From Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like they're and
they're having it
think
grounded. You know.
For me, I like how they did that for the Peter Parker and the Spider-Man story. Him getting that riggedy apartment.
Now
that
pretty much
like,
a rebirth.
Looks like
of
Toby's.
Spider-Man.
I love that. But why do we have to go back to Venom?
He's
why?
the most popular character in Melon.
No,
I'm
I don't think
bored.
I don't think they're gonna get.
There's but there's so many other villains.
I know they're gonna use those villains.
And if they did such a good job with Dr. Octavius and all these other people, I would much rather see another type of villain than see Venom coming back.
This too, Mello. Scorpion is still there, so he hasn't fought Scorpion yet. And
Scorpion's where?
He's still in prison. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And then you gotta remember
what
too,
in Tom Holland's universe?
Yeah, so you gotta pretty much remember this too, since the spell worked. Pretty much they don't know that.
No, yeah.
Remember Vulture too. He remembered Peter Parker, but now he doesn't. So he could probably break out, with Scorpion too, and then maybe.
But again, why are we going back to the same people? I want to see him fighting new people.
We are.
He already fought Vulture. He already fought all these people that you named.
Scorpion, he didn't fight him yet.
He's the only person that he hasn't fought.
He hasn't fought Craven.
Yeah, but they haven't introduced those characters into the universe. They haven't introduced them as villains. They haven't shown Scorpion with his tail and his armor. They haven't showed any of that. So therefore, it doesn't exist.
We're gonna have to wait and see, Mello.
It doesn't exist.
We're gonna have to.
No, it's just this is why I don't like Spider-Man, because I feel like he only has Venom.
There's a lot of characters.
No, there's not, because this Venom's the only person they focus on.
I like how you're saying that, and Venom's right there. But honestly, no.
He's the only one, but he's the only one they focus on.
Because that makes
they don't focus on anyone else. How do you know he's the only one that makes a lot of money?
Have you not read the Craven comics with Spider-Man, Mello?
Comic books don't make money, Chango.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Wait, what are you talking about?
It's because, go ahead, what you said. Repeat what you said. Because
comic books don't make money, which is why, like,
they're not like it used to.
Not like it used to. They don't make nowhere near as much. So, everything you're saying is good for people who follow Spider-Man and for the fans and the fan service of it all.
Well,
but again, for someone,
authenticity of it.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna.
But for someone like me, like, the reason I enjoy so many of the other superhero movies so much more than Spider-Man is because the villain's always different.
Not for nothing.
It feels different.
You saying that about the comic book stuff, I feel like this movie catered more to like the comic
fans.
And the fans.
It's a love letter.
This movie was 100% fan service, 100%.
In a good way, not a bad way.
For me, it's mixed. For me, it's mixed because if you are you are a super Spider-Man fan, so you love, eat, sleep, and breathe, and you think this is the best thing and everything. For me, Spider-Man is my least favorite superhero, so it left a lot to be desired. The movie was good, but the movie itself was really good. Everything else that I thought was going to help push it over it wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. The end credits for me sucked.
Well, for me, I wasn't that satisfied with the end credit with Venom. I can't lie.
That one was actually kind of fucked up.
It was. I kept saying it gave me X-Men.
I'm just
in the
bored.
sense of
I'm so
they
bored.
eliminated him, and now they're gonna make it something else. But if you notice in the movie, what I feel that might happen.
Yeah. They're not gonna give Tom Holland Venom right away, you know, like.
No, not that.
Why does he need to have Venom?
But what I'm
why? I'm so bored.
Okay, but my thing is, yes, because they did it already. It's like you don't want to see it again. But because Venom is so like that's to me, it's always like Venom versus Spider-Man. But my thing is because what they did with the Sony one with this other guy, they're trying to connect that ending so we're just not left off. Even though I would have been fine with seeing that years from now, but I guess it's the timeline whole thing with everything going on, so that's why. But if you notice, Flash was in this movie a lot. Flash Thompson. Yeah, he is the original Venom.
And there's no
in the cartoon.
And Eddie Brock too.
Oh no, I thought it was Flash
Thompson.
No,
it was Eddie Brock first, then Flash. Because there's Flash,
2 types of Venom. Doesn't Flash become Carnage?
No, there's he becomes Agent Venom. So pretty much there's not always Spider-Man versus Venom.
So that's why in the end credit scene
they're setting him up pretty much.
I had a feeling that I was looking at the theme of where this guy was, Eddie Brock. Yeah. Like the whole Hawaiian type of thing. No, like location wise, like where he was at. Yeah. Somehow that's gonna like be a family member, that bartender or something, or someone of Flash, and they're gonna go visit him, and he's gonna become a Venom.
But Agent Venom, maybe if they want to go that route,
like he's gonna end up becoming Brolic somehow. Like it's just gonna be a whole new shabam because they showed him too much for me in this movie,
and they showed him being like sort of an asshole, but not.
But
really.
And trying to be cool with them.
The Asian guy who's like, oh, you gotta be my best friend.
Yes,
that's
him.
That's what everyone's like. You better.
He becomes a Venom.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm seeing that connection. I'm like,
this is why I don't like Spider-Man. This is why I don't like Spider-Man. Flash Thompson becomes a Venom.
Yeah, Mello. That's how old
that is. How does Flash in the cartoon? Flash Thompson looks different, right?
Oh yeah, no, he's brolic.
You see, that's the thing that kills me. But that's what I'm
saying. Yeah. This is what kills me.
The casting for him, which is
but this is what kills me. You cannot continue to go back to the comic books and stuff if that's not what they're using. Yeah. They're only using it just a little bit so people are satisfied and saying, oh, they're not going to use 100% of the But that Flash Thompson becomes a Venom.
That's the thing I got.
That's a theory of mine.
That's what I got to agree with you. Because like, number one, I'm not going to lie to you. Again, when they first introduced Flash Thompson,
downgrades the experience.
No, because the every single Flash Thompson that I've seen, he was like a brolic, he plays football. He's an asshole to Peter.
Wasn't he a white guy?
He's a white guy, yeah, and he does
that one. That's what I'm thinking.
But I mean, his race has nothing to do with it.
Well, I don't want to be that guy.
No, for me, it's not the race. It's just there's no way on earth that I will believe this version of Flash Thompson from the MCU that just said. Made a deal with Spider-Man and said, oh, you have to tell people I'm your best friend. Yeah. I don't believe that's going to become a Venom.
And do you know what the thing is, too? Here's my thing.
Since they're making Spider-Man... yes.
And since they're making Spider-Man 4, since they're setting up the college years, I can see it right now in my head that, for example, Peter's in college, right? And then he actually meets Eddie Brock. But, like, he's, like, not going to be an asshole, but they're going to...
I understand, but again,
like
why
Harry Osborn and all that shit.
My question is why?
You're saying that because they have Venom movies already? Is that why? Because you're saying that as if Venom is not like
because the last time we had a Spider-Man versus Venom movie,
that's what I don't.
But
why do you not see that Venom and Spider-Man? They're like
yes, but the thing
is it too much?
There are other. Villains
I get it,
in Spider-Man that they can focus on and bring forward.
And that's I would hope
Spider-Man 1, we got Green Goblin. Spider-Man 2, we got Thing. 3, we got the other one. Sandman. Then we move on to the next one.
I just feel like movie-wise now, they know how to use characters like that rather than before. Because every movie we've seen from before, it's always, here's the villain, they die at the end. Yeah. Here's the villain, they die at the end.
They go...
So they're knowing how to use these people.
But that's what I'm saying.
I don't think next is going to be Venom.
They're not going to set up Venom
I feel like they're going to do it, like, maybe towards the end, like maybe the third one in that new trilogy.
They're making a new trilogy of the college years, so obviously I feel like number one.
No, for sure. It's just Again,
because
this is where
too.
Spider-Man is lesser for me. This is why he's my least favorite, because with Spider-Man, I feel like there is only one story you can tell, because he's always gonna face Venom.
Nah.
That is always the ultimate villain that he faces. That is always
Craven
the big.
Was always his
No,
for me,
incorrect.
I'm like Doc Ock and
Incorrect. It was not.
What?
Doc Ock. He kicked Doc Ock's ass constantly. Craven constantly whipped his ass. The only true villain that was really a force was two. No.
What?
Not Hob. Was two. The real true villains that were really a true force against Spider-Man were Green Goblin and Venom.
And Mysterio too.
No, not more than Green Goblin and Venom. We've already touched them, and we've gone so deep in them. I want to see Craven the Hunter. I want to see everyone except Venom.
And
I want to see everyone except the people that we just spent 4 years watching.
I mean, I would like to see a Venom versus Spider-Man. Like, I've never seen that, which is gonna.
Well, they have Toby, but that was years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I would like to see the MCU's version of that. You know?
But I do know for a fact, you saying the most popular ones. That wasn't more someone that he really fought like that, but he fought against their people, is Kingpin.
Kingpin
that
is
they
one,
just brought in to
Kingpin, Craven.
But the thing is, but
there's a lot.
But before Spider-Man can get to Kingpin, they have to go through Echo and Daredevil.
I mean, Hawkeye
because
too.
That is technically their.
And
they're bleeding it together.
I never knew that he was that connected.
And the Daredevil, you know, he's in the movie. They're setting up Daredevil.
No, yes, of course, which is why the Echo show is happening again. Yeah. So Echo, because again, if we know, Echo, she finds out that Kingpin is in charge of her father's murder.
Yeah.
She then goes and becomes friends with Daredevil, and they take Kingpin down. Mm-hmm. So boom. Echo leads to Daredevil, still Kingpin. Again, I just want them to just, like, I love how everything is connected, but this is when I start getting bored, because it has been so long now that I'm like, okay, I'm ready for new stories. Not new versions of old things that we've seen 3-4 times already.
Well, I feel like they're just trying to connect everything, because everything is so. Ever since Iron Man, ever since Avengers 1, I feel like everything after that, even if it was just through Sony, somehow it wasn't able to be through Marvel's thing. Yeah. So they're trying to like connect it, because their stories still kind of connect in a way. So it's like I like how he like I said, he demolished this Venom, and now it's like, so it just went from, what's his name? Eddie Brock. Now it's going to go to Flash Thompson, because you just said the Flash Thompson is the next Venom.
Yeah, and there's two, they can choose whoever they want. They can go with Flash.
They're going to go with it. Yeah. But I don't think, like you said, I don't think it's going to be the next one. But he is going to come down the line. They're going to make sure he looks the part. He becomes bully enough. Yeah. He becomes look-wise enough. Because Eddie Brock, to me, was always that.
Oh, yeah, true.
He looks Flash like Thompson, too. This was the high school years,
you never know. Yeah, they might put Flash in that crazy Marvel.
It was the high school years. They're going to be assholes.
But again, for me, this is why Spider-Man, for me, is my least favorite. Mm-hmm. Because we always lead back, like, his major fights are always leading back to the same people.
But answer this. How did Eddie Brock get sent back?
Oh, because of spell.
But the spell, wait.
Eddie Brock got sent back where?
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Because Eddie Brock died.
That made me think, because
Eddie Brock died.
No, because he's talking about the Venom
electrocuted, like.
He's talking I'm talking about Venom, because. Hold up. How the fuck did he get there?
Oh, sorry.
How did he get sent back?
Remember, King the Conqueror, the universes are splitting together now.
All the universes. So why did Venom get sent back? So technically, is Venom a bad person?
He really is.
He's an anti-hero now. He's, and that's another thing, too.
So what?
Like, this is why
it's very confusing now.
It's up. This is why, again, like when
Venom
Marvel
is a multiversal being.
It's. I feel like Marvel's kind of slipping up. In the sense, like Marvel is.
What about Sony? That's
no. Let me not say Marvel.
It's
Marvel
Sony.
movies. No. Marvel movies are slipping up because they are failing to solidify that crazy villain. Before it was Thanos. Thanos was that crazy villain. Like, you know, whatever.
I feel like they're figuring out.
After
because
him,
Kane right now.
Now after him, it's like but.
And
Why is it that we have to go through? But like, why are we turning all of our villains that we grew up knowing as villains? But they're turning into anti-villains and good guys.
No. But Venom was always like that.
No.
Mellow.
Venom, yes.
He was always like that. Though.
But Venom was more of a villain. He was
and
more of a
started,
villain than
he was
anti-hero.
Different writers changed.
They're doing the same thing to Morbius. Morbius was a straight up villain.
Morbius
now he's anti-hero.
But then again, that's Sony shit, so I don't.
But again, if they're gonna start canning, if they're gonna make it canon with the MCU now, all of a sudden,
Sony's deal.
I'm
I don't know about that. Because Sony's a different thing.
They're
making
but not for
own
nothing.
shit.
I would rather see Spider-Man versus Morbius at this point because it's just something
never been
new.
done.
It's just something new.
And then the thing is too, Mello.
I just want something new.
That happened in the comics.
This movie wasn't as new as I thought it was gonna be. Was it nostalgic? Yes. Was it amazing to see the 3 Spider-Man from the live MCU? Yes. But I have to honestly say, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse did it 100 times better.
It's animated.
I'm not talking about the animated.
All right.
I'm not comparing the animation
and
stuff.
In general.
But like this, for me, this felt down. This felt.
It felt easy.
This felt like a little bit of like a vanilla version of Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, you can't compare the two just because of the history of all the movies. Because Spider-Verse started Spider-Verse. Then it gave its story. You know, then they gave the story how that split. You know, so that
I'm not comparing it though. I said.
No, story wise, how it made more sense.
Yeah.
Like
I wasn't saying story wise. I was just saying like I think the concept of
Spider-Verse.
Different Spider-Men from different universes and villains crossing.
And I'm saying,
I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse did it better.
Yes, but
they did it first. They did it first, so. This wasn't as... This, for nostalgia, was, oh my God.
Yeah.
For nostalgia and for fan service, oh my fucking God. Yes. Put it right in my veins.
And
give it to me in everything. Give it to me in everything.
So do you blame all of this
on Spider-Verse?
On the multiverse?
Because the multiverse is going to be a big thing in this phase now.
No, yeah,
the magic and all
the
that
multiverse
like if the
is
multiverse
this phase.
never think like this is the multiverse phase. Yeah, this is
now
this
they
not
have
even
Spider-Verse across the
Spider-Verse. The Avenger phase. This is the multiverse phase.
Yeah,
because of that, it's all like
like we started simple and now we're going to the magical elements of like space and time.
No, for sure. Yeah. This new phase was always about the introduction of 2 things, magic and mutants.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point. Like we're leading with the introduction of magic and it's gonna end with mutants. And we're gonna go into mutants.
X-Men's
it's just
canon now if you think
well, my thing is I was gonna say like they did say earlier, Nick Fury's been gone for a year in space.
And Spider-Man didn't know.
Spider-Man didn't know.
Because remember he
saw
Scroll.
Like at the end at the end of what movie was it?
Far From Home. That was the second one.
No. At the end of which movie we saw Nick Fury with the Skrulls?
That was Far From Home.
Really? Where he was just chilling, walking in the ship?
Yeah, that's Far From Home. At the end, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're setting up Agent Sword.
And the Secret Wars.
Yeah. And that's what I feel like. That's what they're going to finally give Spider-Man the black suit right there. They're not going to introduce Venom like that. But
no, again, I know they're going to introduce Venom. I'm just tired of that storyline.
I'm just wondering who are they going to give it to? Flash Thompson? Because there's a lot of versions of Venom, like Agent Venom.
I don't care.
But Eddie Brock, like I said, they can meet Harry Osborn in college.
And look,
and all that shit.
I know people might listen to this and say, "Oh well, Batman has Batman has his main villain, which is the Joker, and this one has this main villain." Yes, but with the different Batman movies, I felt like I was on a different journey every time. Well, I felt like I was on a different,
it's different
mind wave. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, like, we're comparing superhero movies. Yeah. Like, the feeling of watching the Nolan trilogies. Let's compare trilogies. Nolan, which is Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and the other one, to this one, the Far From Homes and all the Home trilogies. Yeah. Both good, some better than others, of course, but the difference compared to this, the difference with Batman compared to this, I enjoy being on a different journey every movie. Do I like in those movies for them to hint at the things that happen in the other movies? Yes. But for me, for this, like I said, I would rather watch Into the Spider-Verse again more than watch Far From Home, because
it is my favorite Spider-Man movie. Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. This is the second.
I thought this was great, and it was great for fan service. It was great for nostalgia. And
they took risks too,
and they did. And I love the risk that they take. Like the whole thing with MJ, the whole thing how they changed her name,
Michelle.
Like
she's a different variant of
I
her.
fucking love it. Yeah. I fucking love it because
did they never say that?
No, she's it's pretty much
it's
different
that
versions.
in Spider-Man's entire
in the other ones.
No. In Spider-Man's entire being of existence, MJ has always stood for Mary Jane. It has never stood for anything else. So for the fact for him to go, it's Michelle Jones, I'm like, oh bitch, like, oh my god, it's not even the same bitch. Oh!
Because
like you're not related to Kirsten Dunst.
No,
you know, like
just different versions of the MJ
it's just
character.
So good.
And I love it.
That I loved. I love that and stuff. But like I said, this movie I thought was excellent. Everyone should go see it for sure. But like for me, you know, it definitely the way everyone was talking about it, like in the non-spoiler reviews and everything.
You talking about
the movie and the end credits. Okay. Like I was like, okay, so I'm in for some shit, and I got a lot of good stuff, but.
Like
again,
you said, it was more for the nostalgia of seeing, like, oh my god, my cousin from years ago.
Oh my god, I was 7 years old when I saw this Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But like, again, like for someone
it's
like
pretty
me,
much like they said, a love letter to Spider-Man.
Like
fans.
I hated Spider-Man growing up. I absolutely hated it. I hated watching. It's your fault.
My fault.
It is. It's your fault. I hate Spider-Man because
tell the story. Go ahead. Tell the story why you hate Spider-Man.
Like. Because we shared a room, all that was on the TV was Spider-Man, so I was over it.
You cannot blame me for my childhood.
No. It's just that, like, I'm just not a Spider-Man fan.
I get it.
So, like...
I made you hate Spider-Man.
When it came to the first original Spider-Man movies...
On the VHS tape.
I didn't like part 1 too much. Part 2, I thought was the bomb.
That was...
Part 2 is the best.
You can't... Yeah.
And my favorite... is better than any other Spider-Man movie that has ever been made.
Even Spider-Verse.
Better than this one. Better than...
Spider-Verse, Mellow, that's different.
No, for me, I would still put Spider-Man 2 and then Spider-Verse as number 2.
Yeah.
Because...
those two
I don't know. It was just the way Spider-Man 2 was made, the way it was done.
And around the time
and then, like, for me, I really did enjoy the puppetry of Doc Ock's arms and stuff. Trust me, CGI and technology, it makes it look amazing and all that great stuff.
But just see
part 2.
But I do, like, and then also the story of part 2, like, it was so deep.
They were on...
It was just on another level.
They never missed. Then the train fight. Don't get me started on the train fight.
Yeah. It was just really on a whole other level.
Yeah,
part 2.
They kicked it up a notch.
Like, Spider-Man 2 for me was a movie ahead of its time.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man, all of Andrew Garfield's, I hate them all.
You don't like them?
Burn them all. They should never exist.
So I feel like after watching this, you have a bigger respect for him in this movie.
I have a
compared to his
just because
movie.
Gwen Stacy.
The only reason
they made him.
Okay, the only thing that made me feel for him more
was that Gwen Stacy
was him saving MJ. Spoiler.
Redeeming himself.
No, I'm just a spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
Him saving MJ because, as we know, he didn't get to save his version of MJ.
Essentially, he's
and
redeeming himself.
They set her up to pretty much fail in the same way that Gwen did.
And she died. And she fell in the same.
And it was the same way. But Andrew was the one who got to save her. Yeah. And then, having that moment where he was emotional. And even MJ, like, Zendaya's MJ, she was like, oh, something deeper is happening here. Yeah. Like,
they held that scene for like a good minute.
Yes, he just saved my life, but something deeper is happening here because I'm emotional that he saved my life, but something's happening inside of him that's helping him. Yeah. It's helping him heal. Yeah. It's helping him be a better person overall.
Like he said, he went to a darker path.
And for me, that was the best emotional moment in the movie. Oh, you're saying when
she asked him, "Are you okay?"
Yes. Yeah. For me, that was the best emotional moment in the movie. Really that was my favorite emotional moment in the movie. Yeah. Because, like I said, like she at that moment, she knew that whatever just happened, it was scary as shit for her, but it meant so much more for him.
He even screamed out no too.
And the reason she was able to feel like that because even though that wasn't her Peter Parker, it's still Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man is hers. Yeah. Peter Parker is still hers. Yeah, that's just another version of her Peter. Yeah. So if that moment were to happen between her and her Peter, it would really be even just as stronger. Yeah. Yeah. But the fact that it was given to Andrew where he was able to redeem himself and kind of like erase that moment that happened in the other movies, I did like that. Yeah. But it still doesn't make me not like his Spider-Man.
How do you feel about Toby in this movie?
And listen, with Toby, the worst.
How do you feel?
Toby's the best.
No. How you felt about seeing him at old and all that stuff doing the
Listen, before he even did anything, they gave away such a big clue for something else with Ned in the movie to me.
I don't know if they're gonna do it with the whole memory.
Once Toby came through, once he came through, if you realize he's sensed that something. He was like, I know you. And you like he said he knew Ned and MJ and then he looked at the grandmother and like she like said hi to him and he said hi back. Yeah. Like
it felt it was different like, with him.
He was there even before he knew. You know what like his senses are different.
And he was like and there then, the last day too. Like they were
no, but he was there in the world, but he wasn't there in the house.
In the house. Yeah.
You know, he knew he's there interacting. Yeah, and I understand what you mean.
Because even when we saw the knives on the wall in Ned's house, we was like, "What does that have to do?"
What
and
then you were knives? Like, and those knives are like, "Oh, he's in Shang-Chi's family,"
or some shit,
or like, no, he's related to Wong.
Yes, he gets the cape on him. All these things help and save him. Like you saying, Wong, like. Wong was probably like helping, and that fucking cape came to like help him at a certain point because Wong knew like he's like I'm the sorcerer. Like no, I knew what was gonna happen. Like I saw the outcome of this, kind of how like Doctor Strange saw the outcome of other shit.
So if
with Toby though,
the whole multiverse of madness and everything.
I feel like they're still trying to make it make sense.
No, it's not.
And they're still reshooting a lot of scenes.
It's not gonna make sense for a long time. But like for my thing is just like. Okay.
What happened?
Doctor Strange is causing a lot of stuff with magic, and he's not the Sorcerer Supreme.
Remember, he was blipped for 5 years, too.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. As of right now, he's not the Sorcerer Supreme.
They didn't give him that title yet.
So he's how is he doing all this shit, and he's not the Sorcerer Supreme?
I don't think
he's still breaking rules.
But then again, remember,
he's still breaking
with
rules.
The Sorcerers, probably the higher-ups just don't see him as they don't... They're like, you're not worthy of the title.
Well, Wong did say, due to technicality...
Yeah.
It was a technicality, but yes, but
they're going by the book.
Even if it was a technicality, that still makes Wong the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah. So I feel like after the Multiverse of Madness, they're finally gonna give him the title, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Because that's my thing. Like, how are they going into this without him being it already? Well, because I mean. The only way that would make sense is because then that would be the reason why all this dark stuff is happening because the Sorcerer Supreme would know not to do these things and not to make these mistakes.
You saying the dark stuff? If you notice in the scene when they had everyone caged in the fucking cells, and Spider-Man was telling him before he took the box from him, and he was like, "Oh, like I don't want to whatever, do this, kill them, or whatever." And when Doctor Strange looked at him, for some reason,
something felt weird.
If you just something about his eye makeup,
thank you.
His eyes looked dark, like it didn't
when he
look like
splashed
that was
the potion,
the normal
right?
him. It was no, not when he splashed it. When he was about to
doing the thing,
when the box was like opening.
Let him finish.
No, because I know what he's talking about.
Like darker Doctor Strange. Like I feel like it was a switch up. Like maybe Doctor Strange is saying it, and we'll see it in his movie. But like at a certain point, when he was like, "Oh, I was over the Grand Canyon for 5 hours" or some shit, like. There was something going on in that time.
For 5 hours.
Like, he was not there just chilling in the Grand Canyon for 5 hours. Like, come on. Bitch, you are Doctor Strange. You can get out of that bitch.
But then again, he had the ring to make the...
And then he said... And then I noticed that he said, oh, Ned was the one that actually made him come through. Because to me, it felt like Doctor Strange came through that by himself.
No, but he said... He was like, did you just make a portal?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just connecting this Ned character to Wong.
So think about it. Why wasn't Ned able to close that thing if he's so good at...
It's because he's not trained.
Yeah, but at all times he wasn't able to close it then. But every other time he was able to close...
He made a hole.
And then it closed by itself.
It closed by itself, yes, but he wasn't able to close them ever. Like, that is something that they train to do. So him having no training makes sense. Like, he's gonna open a portal
out of nowhere.
I have natural abilities.
Like he opened a
portal,
portal.
But I don't know how to control it. I don't know what to do next. I just know how to do this.
Remember the water thing that came out?
But when he opened it for Spider-Man, and they came through.
But when he said Peter Parker, though, he automatically thought of his Peter Parker.
So he said Peter Parker. The other time when he was running,
it's like he was calling Peter once Peter's through. That's it. It's like Peter's through.
He was focusing his energy on Peter Parker. He wanted like. Whatever magic I have in my system, I wanted to be directed to getting Peter Parker's attention. And it was different Peter Parkers, but it was still Peter Parker.
Just from different...
Thank God he didn't do it again because he would have saw Miles Morales, somebody else come through. What if he did it again? No, but
I love the nod with Jamie Foxx saying like, I thought Spider-Man was gonna be black.
When they said that
I'm tired of white men.
When they said that in the theater and everyone was looking at me with the suit on, and I loved it.
Yes,
it felt great. Finally,
the movie was really good. I had a lot of fun watching it.
I didn't like the scene when Miss Wendy Williams was in the car telling him about the MIT thing where she's gonna tell it to his friends and Peter Parker. Yeah. And then she got out and was like, oh, like trying to hit be all like,
come here, you're
not supposed to do that.
But then she left the scene and it's like, who did she go to? Because Dr. Ock looked like he was looking at her too.
I feel like
what the hell? Like
I feel like there's some scenes. Cubs, remember. Iron Man's daughter did have a scene in this movie, but it got cut off for some odd reason. So there probably is a lot of deleted scenes we do not know about.
But my thing is, deleted scenes do not help with pushing the story forward. Deleted scenes are scenes that were deleted from the movie because they did not help push the story forward.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Or because they did not make sense with what was happening there. Directors say it all the time. Whenever you watch like the deleted scenes,
they explain it.
We did this, but we couldn't use it because of this. We couldn't use it because it didn't flow with the overall movie.
Or budget cuts.
So therefore, it's hardly ever budget cuts. It's always because it didn't flow with the overall movie or didn't blend.
Like Endgame had a lot of deleted scenes too.
Yeah, but again,
they didn't flow right.
But it was good enough the way it was.
But without
originally,
those deleted scenes, watching it didn't add anything to everything that was already happening.
Like Iron Man seeing his daughter grown up, it was like,
How would they show Iron Man? Why are we seeing Iron Man seeing his daughter grown up? Now all of a sudden we're in heaven? It's like now we're in heaven.
Like he was at the same spot where Gamora was at when she was a little kid or some shit. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
That's what.
When she was a little kid, she was in space. You saying before Thanos?
No. So that pretty much after he snapped his fingers. What the hell was that? after he snapped his fingers, essentially there's a deleted scene with him going to the place. So when Thanos obviously killed Gamora and shit. But I'm saying in general,
where's the little ones?
They're right here. They had a scene with Iron Man meeting. What?
What happened? What did it look like?
It just felt like a rumble. You didn't hear that?
No.
But it had like a scene with Iron Man meeting a grown-up version of his daughter in the place where, obviously he died. But honestly, like you said, it didn't flow right. It just felt odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I definitely do think, though, that that little box that we saw, it was very comparison to What If, when Doctor Strange locked up Killmonger and Vision Ultron.
Yeah. And now, I feel like in the Multiverse of Madness, they're going to probably explain what the hell those two are doing. Because he did say things got a little out of hand. And he was the one left with the box.
With Spider-Man's spell, right?
No. No, I'm just saying in general, like, remember in What If, he was trapped in that little prison with the Watcher. He's like, the Watcher's like, hey, can you take care of him? He's like, oh, don't worry, I got it. And then now, seeing the trailer of him saying things got out of hand, probably something happened in that little
But I think he was talking about when he did the spell for Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, probably. Like, probably the spell fucked up some shit.
Watching this the second time, this was Melo's first time, me and Chunga's second time.
Yeah.
When he did the spell for Spider-Man, every time he did a spell, like there was a ring, then he threw it down. Every time he took someone else out, it was like, okay, threw it down again, then again. And that's when I noticed all the rings got all like
that's what
combobulated.
He's like, stop messing with the spell.
He said he made him switch it 6 times.
6 times, and that messed it up.
So that was 6 different spells combined into one.
And he kept on saying,
which is why he had to put it in the What If
box.
Yeah.
And then even when
not for nothing, this just shows you that like
Peter still
they had the idea. No.
Oh.
Let me finish, get my thought out before you come in trying to think. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Shit.
go ahead.
I forgot. Never mind.
It was something about What If.
I don't remember. Stop interrupting.
Okay.
But yeah, what else happened in this movie? What about Green Goblin?
He deserves.
It was great.
He deserves an award for this movie.
He deserves an MTV award for sure.
MTV?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was an Oscar. He deserves a really good award for one scene. But again,
he killed it though.
He did. I thought he did a really good job.
I felt like he didn't have enough
to do.
Enough scenes where you would want to give him an Oscar. Like it was it happened right at the right times. Like there wasn't any type of monologues going on where he it was just enough. It was just enough. This movie didn't drag at all, which was good. That's why I loved it.
And it was quick pace. It got to the point quick.
Yeah, the beginning.
It didn't drag.
Too. Yes, they showed Daredevil in 2 seconds.
It felt a little long, yes, but it didn't feel long to the point where you're like, oh my god, is this over yet? It was just like,
exactly.
Oh, bitch. It's like, oh, I just realized we've been sitting here for a while now.
It's like over 2 hours.
That beginning goes by quick.
Yeah, but I definitely, I thought overall the movie was great and stuff.
They killed Aunt May. Mello was devastated.
I was, but then seeing how they tied it in, they needed that to happen so that now he could really become Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, remember, Toby became Toby became Spider-Man when he officially he accepted his role as Spider-Man and all of that, the responsibility that came with it when Uncle Ben died. Same thing with Andrew Garfield. To this moment, Tom Holland's Spider-Man hasn't had a real moment that is going to force him to grow up. This was a moment okay, now you have to grow up.
Yeah.
From this moment on, you are Spider-Man, your responsibilities clash, and you are now grown up.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to hide. There's nothing you can do. You got to deal with these emotions, face it head on, and go through it. So seeing it, was I devastated? But then thinking about it, it made sense why it needed to happen, because remember, we never had an Uncle Ben for
we just got to the point.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
There was never an Uncle Ben for Tom Holland.
Him a little.
No.
But no, not
yeah,
yet.
but
yeah.
it was there was never an Uncle Ben.
Yeah, no, really.
There was never an Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben was Aunt May. The same way, like, for us growing up with single parents. Our single parents are our mom and our dad. They are our everything. That was his single parent. That was his Uncle Ben. That was his everything. So that even to give Aunt May the line that is so famous for Spider-Man, you know, the great power comes great responsibility. Like, to give that to her right before that moment, it was devastating, but it felt like it needed to happen because now Spider-Man is, like, now we're going to see a real Spider-Man. Yeah. Now we're going to see, like, Batman Year One, that version of Spider-Man. Or the Spider-Man from the video game. Because remember, in the video game, he's 7 years as Spider-Man in. So he is set, like, he's comfortable, challenges, yes, but he is Spider-Man. He's been Spider-Man for 7 years. So I feel like them doing that now is giving him that platform, like, yes, now he's Spider-Man.
He deserves the title, yeah.
College and stuff is going to come with its own challenge, but even the college years, like, I don't think they're going to be able to focus on the college part of it because, again, it's still a Spider-Man movie. And that's why I go back to my complaint where, like, okay, I want to see something different because you could say it's Spider-Man the college years, but all you're going to see is 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 scenes of him in a college campus actually doing college things. Everything else is going to be him being Spider-Man because we're here to see Spider-Man. We're not here to see Peter Parker in school. So, because I know that that's what it is, I want to see something different. I don't want to see him going for Venom again. I don't want to see him going for the same villains that we've seen in all the movies. When he has other villains we can go to. I want to see Shadowcat. I want to see Spider-Woman. I want to see
Black Widow.
Wait, Spider-Woman. That's like
Spider-Woman.
I know, but like
that lady in the chair.
That's gonna be kind of hard, right? Though.
But
that's Madam Web, but Spider-Woman's hard though.
I don't think it would be hard if they can sit here. It's the multiverse.
Oh yeah, they can do that, but
how can it be hard if they're over here throwing people together for no reason? How can it be hard to have Spider-Woman or Spider-Gwen? Bring the fucking pig.
I mean, not for nothing.
Bring the fucking pig.
For me to
give me something.
Traditional
new.
Spider-Man to me always fought against Dr. Octopus. Kingpin was the man in the office sending all these people. Then Mysterio, which he went through. I remember the episode. It was special with Morbius. That was like a whole doctor guy that became a vampire. Like, all this stuff. He took the venom of it to become a vampire, and then or no, he got bit by a bat, right? I don't know.
The bats did some weird shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird. But then who else? Craven was on there too, yeah. And
then there's a.
It was like certain people. Rhino to me was like way different than what they did in Andrew's series. Like,
I would love to see a Rhino. Let's revisit a Rhino.
Because that Rhino we had was. I'm sorry.
Not that, but again,
I don't want to be.
It's the Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that's
movies.
his.
All suck. They all
suck. I don't want to say they all suck.
They all suck. Andrew sucks. The people who acted in them suck. This just
like I like how they combined them three to make it good. But when they did Andrew's, to me, I thought he would. Like I said before in the last podcast, I thought he would be where Tom Holland is now, like continuing. But when they did another one with Tom Holland, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of Batman. Here we go, another one. You know, George Clooney. Then this one. Then this one. Then, you know.
And what I noticed about this trilogy too, like, if you want to count Civil War, like it's setting. It's pretty.
Count Civil War in the trilogy.
Well, never mind. Yeah. So essentially, like Spider-Man's journey throughout everything, I see it as like that's his origin story of how he's becoming the real Spider-Man. Like, you know, his Aunt May dying.
Like this movie was honestly to erase everything.
Yeah.
And so he can
a rebirth for Spider-Man.
Separate him from the Avengers.
You don't got no Aunt Ben,
Aunt May or Uncle. Well, you do got Uncle Ben
version. Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Yeah. but he's alone right now.
Yeah, he's struggling, and I love that fact that they made him struggle because it's
He
Spider-Man.
better not meet a Harry.
Like
in his
every
universe.
Spider-Man.
Do you think? Okay, besides Aunt May, where did he struggle?
He honestly struggled just in getting a job in general. You know, like he has to pay rent, or he had.
We didn't see any of that. I'm talking about in the movie.
Oh, in the movies?
What we saw.
So essentially,
besides Aunt May, what was his main struggle?
Honestly, I think this whole
getting MJ.
this whole like journey. What I'm saying in general is that they just pretty much they keep handing him a platter every time. They made it too easy. That's why they made a little joke that he's Iron Man Jr. He gets everything. He gets all the techie and all that shit. So that's why I feel like with Aunt May, dying, it's like this is now shit's getting real. Like Iron Man,
No, it's like it's exactly what we said. This is now the real Spider-Man. Like he has he's
making his own suits now.
Come into himself, he's making his own suits. Come into his own without the help of anyone else and everything else. Which again is great, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you're giving him such a restart, why are we restarting to retell the same stories?
I mean, the only one right now is Venom.
Well,
in his universe, the only one right now is Venom. Honestly, like they honestly deleted everyone. Doc Ock is dead.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're coming in from different universes. Why isn't what's to not say that there's other Doc Ocks?
Yeah, that's what I was
going to get. Spider-Man.
Why can't we get the female Doc Ock version? But even that would be cool, a female Doc Ock to fight against Tom Holland. But again, it's still the same thing. This is my problem with Spider-Man.
That's what
you always end up falling into the same story where he has to do that. Like
best believe when they introduce X-Men, my thing is I want them to do justice with Apocalypse. So they're gonna reintroduce Apocalypse. They're gonna reintroduce. Who else did they fight in the movies?
Their first villain is gonna be Magneto.
It has to be.
They're gonna reintroduce him.
That's gonna be the first villain.
Those are gonna be reintroduced.
Either that or the Sentinels. Ooh, imagine if they started with the Sentinels.
I want to see Mr. Sinister. They're gonna bring back Sabretooth.
Of course.
So they're gonna bring back a lot of people again, and do it in their way. Or if they're gonna try and I feel like they can't tie it in how they did with Spider-Man, because then they're gonna be like, oh, that's a repeat of Spider-Man. Like you're just doing the same formula with different people, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of hard to do. Like if they did something crazy like with What If and made it like real life action.
I mean, they are, because we're getting the evil Doctor Strange. Yeah. There's a What If the Marvel Zombies show coming out now.
Yeah.
There's a show?
Yes,
you don't remember
they're
the show?
making it a fucking show.
Live action?
Remember I showed you the list
I don't think a live action, but they're
maybe
making a zombie show.
Or something.
A Marvel zombie show.
And since we're talking about other, stuff with the movies and shows, the guy that made the Spider-Man trilogy, John Watts, he's going to be in charge of the Fantastic Four movies. So do you think...
Oh, no. Listen, what's his name? Michael what?
John Watts.
No, the one that did Endgame and...
Mark, the Russo brothers.
Yes, them. Sorry.
Something like Mario Brothers.
Who's Michael something? He did something in Marvel.
I don't know. When you say Michael, I don't know, because all I know is...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. Well, the Russo brothers... I think they need to be in charge of all the Marvel movies. I'm sorry. And make these stories make sense, because to connect Ragnarok into Infinity War and then into Endgame, that's an award. All three of them together.
And I think they're in charge of the Secret Wars. There's a rumor of them coming back for that.
No, not necessarily. No, I think that rumor's a lie, because they were just saying how there was an article saying, because they don't work for Marvel anymore.
Michael Bay.
No. What are you talking about?
That's Transformers. There's a Michael. I'm sorry.
Every episode.
The Russo brothers.
Every single episode. This is episode 6, ladies and gentlemen. And again, he has just mixed up his references. We're literally every episode, at least it happens once.
Oh my god.
He's like, yeah, this person's so confident it's this person.
And then he gets it wrong.
And then it's not that person at all. It's literally like the complete opposite.
Ugh, I feel like there's a Michael somewhere.
In directors for Marvel or some shit. Michael Russo or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Is there a Michael Russo?
No, I just made that up.
Oh my god.
But honestly, I can say that Fantastic Four is in good hands with John Watts. He can make a good.
I don't like them.
You don't like the Fantastic Four?
No, I don't like. I was never a fan. It's just.
I mean, I'm happy they're getting another chance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, I didn't even rate the movie yet.
Michael Rainey?
I can essentially say though this was like a love letter to the fans though. Like there's some Easter eggs that are just on point and fan service, but they do it right, not like the Star Wars. They do it right. Looking at you, Last Skywalker.
No Star Wars.
Yeah, because, man, I don't know.
Well, I gotta be careful because they.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love Star Wars, but don't attack the show, please.
I don't like Star Wars. That's fine.
I love Star Wars, but we all could agree that Last Skywalker is donkey shit. It's ass.
Star Wars is fucking boring and it sucks.
Oh man. Well, hopefully all the turbo nerds don't hear you say that.
Listen, it is horrible. I mean, no, it's good, but I'm just not into it. Who was this guy? Wait, let me see who he played. Was
Thomas Hayden Church? That's Sandman.
Oh, that's Sandman.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the guy at the thing at the end in the diner with MJ and the?
No. I know what you're talking about. He looked like Hank Pym, right?
He looked like him.
Yeah, he really. Is that Hank Pym? Was that Hank Pym? No, that's not.
Not
the spoiler reviews don't even mention. No, that's not him.
It wasn't.
Is that if they
the reptile?
Pretty much, if they I think with Spider-Man, they're trying to, like we've been saying, is just start fresh. So erase Avengers, erase Hank Pym,
but
not erase.
They know who he's Spider-Man, But
they don't anymore.
No, they know Spider-Man, but they don't know who Peter Parker is, Mello. They know Spider-Man exists out there and all that shit, but Peter Parker just, he's nothing. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that they're keeping it like that.
Yeah.
Start small, like making me Daredevil, because both of them have good chemistry together.
I just thought it was, the movie again was overall for me. It had points where it was really, really good, and then but overall, like after watching it, I'm like, oh, there's points where I'm like, oh, I thought something more was gonna be there.
It still has corny moments too, like when it comes to like the music points, like the little corny music sections, like when Doc Ock had him and then he started controlling it, and it's like, and I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be like nothing crazy now. Like it's obvious with the music what's gonna happen. Yeah. Usually that's what movies do, but in this one I was like, it was really obvious, like, oh, nothing dramatic was gonna happen. Yeah, you can definitely tell when something was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. The music definitely anticipated a lot of things for me.
What I would say about this is I love how they, I love what they did with the spider sense in this movie. Like, they made it important, especially, like, when he got the astral projectile soul thing out of his body. Like, that pretty much heightened his senses even more. That's why he's like, oh, this feels so damn good,
I did not even notice the black suit was his suit turned inside out.
Yeah.
Told me.
Yeah, it was his suit turned inside out.
I'm so mad you didn't notice.
I was like, oh, yeah, he couldn't get the stain out. That's what it was. So the green was
somehow
in his face.
Aunt May knew how to get the stain out. That shit was, I don't know.
That was Happy giving her a special Stark detergent.
But overall, I love what they did with Spider Sense in this movie. Yeah, they're calling it Peter Tinker, but I feel like he's gonna change the name eventually. He's getting older. Well, he's growing up.
So, are you guys excited for like what's coming next for Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, I feel like I know what they're gonna do for Spider-Man 4. Definitely.
I am. I just hope it does it justice. and it's not boring because this was like
their
if
end
this
game
was so major for them. Another one is not gonna like introduce so many people and have so much to it. It's gonna be just like a movie, just like a regular. This is like the story growing.
Street crime, you know.
I hope it's not boring, because this one, it was like, it reached the peak of not being boring.
There was a lot of layers,
but it could be boring to some people.
Because the next Spider-Man movie after this, like, don't get me wrong, I know it's not gonna beat this, but I have hope it's gonna be good. You know, like, and I love the fact that they're keeping Spider-Man as a street crime. You know, but for example, he could easily team up with Daredevil and fight Kingpin because they both share the same interests, and it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, they better not release this they're gonna release the next one to me, honestly, in like 2025 or 6.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Years.
It's gonna be, and they already said they're gonna make the next trilogy. You know, so hey.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time to the next Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're gonna throw him away for a while.
So at least they're gonna take their time with
that's
this.
That's good, because I'm not excited because I feel like I already know what's coming and I'm already bored.
I mean, who knows? Who knows whatever they do with it?
Like, honestly, I'm excited for the multiverse, and if he's involved in that somehow, even though it's crazy and because of the multiverse, this movie has a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah,
I'm still excited for the multiverse because I know it's gonna bring in different things.
Loki set up a lot of things.
Me not being excited for Spider-Man has nothing to do with me being excited for the multiverse, because my biggest excitement of the multiverse is X-Men. Because X-Men is my number one favorite in everything Marvel.
Yeah, I never really been a fan of Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk.
It was
I don't know.
movies.
None
were
of those
good.
people, but they were.
The
I
movies
loved
were
them
good.
after.
Yeah, after I don't know
Movies
how
were
you
good.
made. I don't know how
Toys,
you made.
I think it was the toys for us.
I don't know how you made
I think
Iron
for us,
Man.
the toys.
Like, you introduced Iron Man, but I did not expect him to be like the face of fucking.
And they even said it, like in documentaries. Iron Man was not top notch.
Yeah, it was always Spider-Man.
With like Spider-Man, Captain
And
America.
X-Men.
Yeah, Spider-Man,
X-Men is what
Spider-Man and
Marvel on
X-Men
the
made
map.
the most money. And then the MCU came and they made him shit. Like, I did not expect it.
And the X-Men movies were good.
Yeah.
I liked the X-Men movies.
Not
you
all of them,
you
but
made
yes.
that face. Which one?
Once it got into X-Men 1, 2,
X-Men 3
and
was
3,
terrible.
maybe.
The Last Stand?
The Last Stand was terrible.
No, The Last Stand is... Yeah, oh my gosh, so they had 2 good movies, I think. 2...
Logan was perfect.
I was
liked-
excited to see Nightcrawler.
I liked 1 and 2.
That was
2 was the best.
Mm.
I loved Days of Future Past. I did like Apocalypse a little bit.
You wanna
Not
count.
too much, but I did like Apocalypse. Logan, I agree. I think
It's a
Logan
perfect
is
movie.
the best
Send off too.
of all of the X-Men movies.
And it's a perfect
Like,
quote unquote
of
send
X-Men
off.
movies, okay, X-Men 2, but like in the X-Men universe, the realm
The
of
future
X-Men,
and
that whole
everything.
thing, and all the X-Men kind of movies, Logan is the best.
It's perfect.
It is the absolute
And
best.
if it is his quote unquote final, Wolverine movie, that's the perfect way to send them off.
I do not even want to think about who's going to be the Wolverine next.
Now, in
I'm scared about
your
that.
opinions, how you think they're gonna introduce the X-Men in the MCU?
I don't know.
Ooh, hold on.
I don't know. It makes me nervous because, like, with it going back to the movie, I thought the introduction of Andrew and Toby was gonna be a little bit more extravagant or a little bit more of like. I would have loved to see
Their
them
worlds.
coming in a fight scene, not with my least favorite character in the movie.
Ned.
Fucking
Ned, the Sorcerer
give me
Supreme.
Spider-Man, and then a fucking portal opens.
But you gotta remember, they were in the city for like a day.
God, please.
But that's how you know his character has more than what we think.
Who,
And they're
Toby?
gonna somehow...
Yeah,
Ned.
no, Ned.
Oh, Ned.
Like
yeah.
his... Like,
Again, he's
because
gonna be related
Doctor
to-
Strange said it.
He's
It
gonna
was
be related
obvious.
to Wong, or he's gonna be related to Shang-Chi and some
His
way.
grandmother is gonna be something that passed down to him.
Probably, who knows?
Like, well, yeah, he's gonna be... Ned's gonna be related, like you said. He's gonna be related to somebody.
Wong, though, that's impossible. You can't do that. That's just... That doesn't work.
Like, it's gonna
No,
happen.
it does, because why else would if Doctor Strange had to go through everything he had to go to just to learn how to open the portal, how did this fucking human open a portal?
Like that.
Wait,
like
Dr.
that.
Oh, Dr. Strange.
If you go back, the
Doctor
Doctor
Strange went
movie,
through shit.
He went through hell to open a fucking portal.
They sent him to like the
This
snowy
dude
parts of the mountains or something.
Open a portal in 2 seconds, just saying, I want Peter Parker.
That's why they showed them knives on the wall. I swear those knives have something to do with it.
The minute the knives came up,
and they had a good focus on those knives for a good minute.
The minute the knives came up, I'm like, okay, so he's either related to Wong or he's related to Shang-Chi through his ancestry. Not him,
and tell me why,
but through his ancestry.
And tell me why
it's gonna
Grandma...
be this whole bullshit with Aquafina too. Oh, God, don't
listen,
get me on her.
Grandma knew what
Talk
it was.
about appropriation.
Wait, who's Aquafina? Okay, hold on. Aquafina. Okay, I gotta get it together. But it's
Shang-Chi.
obvious. I love Shang-Chi. But
it's a good movie. Check it out.
I think it's obvious because look at the grandmother's reaction to
Toby.
fucking Spider-Man's coming in her house, shooting webs. She's like telling the first one, take the cobwebs off. Then this other one, like, can you clean up the webs that's here now? Like, she's not even, like, freaking out, like, what's happening? Get them out of my house. She's like...
She did freak out when she saw Andrew come out the portal, but after, when she saw Toby, that one felt weird. Her waving at him, I'm like, does Toby... What's wrong with him? Like, Toby's feels different. Like, I don't know if it's saying that, I'm the first Spider-Man.
One thing I thought about, when that happened, I was like, oh, but then it couldn't, what I thought it couldn't be. What I thought was like, oh, if Toby said all this, I'm like, oh, what if, like, because remember, if you look at the 3 Spider-Man, one thing that was cool watching them together, it was literally young Spider-Man, college Spider-Man, adult Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In, like, literally, the college years was Andrew Garfield.
And
that was the college years.
The adult years
Adult,
Toby.
when he's full-fledged Spider-Man, like, in his shit, Toby.
Yeah.
And you know, Tom being the baby.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Setting up passing the torch to him now.
Seeing them, like, I don't see it as so much as passing
the
torch.
when, like, hugging or whatever.
No, yeah, but I didn't see it too much as passing the torch, because the thing is that they still have to go back to their own universe and be their Spider-Man.
And I like the fact that they kind of discuss what's been going on in their worlds, because, it's been years since the Toby.
It seems like it's dark for Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew kills people now, but Toby feels like, I think maybe, I don't want to say he has a kid, but maybe MJ and him things are working out. Like, he's not really Spider-Man as much, or it's complicated, like you said. But for now seeing that, Andrew Garfield saved MJ, is like, he's cleansed now. He's like, I find
it was like, now that's gonna heal him. Like, again, which is why, going back to that scene, like, I knew immediately watching it and then seeing how long they looked at each other and then his reaction, and then the minute they had Zendaya say, "Are you okay?" She didn't ask that worried. She asked that because she knew that something was happening on the inside that was so much more than she understood. It's like, it even reminded me, that moment even reminded me a little bit of when, this past episode of Hawkeye, when Echo was talking to the informant.
Yeah.
And she's like, I feel like something bigger is happening than what I know. Like, that was kind of that moment. Like, she was like, something big, like, she realized
something's off.
Something more is not off.
Oh, okay.
Something bigger is happening here, because like, it was changing Andrew's Spider-Man. It was changing him. Yeah. Whatever just happened, it was changing him. Yeah. And she saw in that moment, okay, something is changing him.
Yeah.
And I'm not his MJ, but it's almost like there's MJ is almost like an absolute point in Spider-Man. So it doesn't matter if it's Andrew, Toby, or whatever. Yeah. Whoever their MJ is gonna have that connection with them.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be connected.
Like when Andrew said, "Oh, Gwen, she was my MJ," And then, when he noticed, he kept looking at Tom Holland's,
And Zendaya looking, he's like, damn, like I missed that, you know.
Yeah,
like,
because also like going back into the whole timeline of it, like technically that was him and Gwen not too long ago.
Yeah, like that happened like a good. Well, I don't know, but
in his mind.
In his mind, yeah.
That was him and Gwen not too long ago.
Yeah. So now him redeeming himself was honestly like a perfect, like, all right, he's not gonna kill people, well, villains anymore, you know, like, well, he could probably kill. I don't know. I don't know. Andrew's different, and now it's like, it's thinking about him, just like I'm happy he got that redemption, and you know, rumors of that he might come. Well, him and Toby might come back for some movies. I'd love to see them come back, just one more time or some shit.
There's a scene I'm looking at it now.
Oh yeah, they took a whole huge focus on those knives for a good minute.
But there's a scene right here that they show next of a sewing machine.
Yes, that was
sewing.
I thought that was Aunt May's sewing machine.
This is in Ned's house. This is Grandma's machine. It has to be. What is she sewing up?
Are you sure that's Ned's house?
No, that's the house.
That was Aunt May.
No, that's the house.
No, yeah, this is where they're at.
Like, I don't know. I don't want to be overthinking it, but it'll be fun.
I'm not interested in that at all.
You don't like that?
And then the whole thing of him becoming the best friend, I wanted to think he's going to somehow become evil. Like, I'm not getting back into that. I'm not going to say it. But, yeah, I think they want to use him more. Like, even in interviews, the energy is so different of someone when they know they're like more important and stuff.
It's also it's also because I think that they're realizing that they're trying to push this whole Harry Potter trio thing. So like they're the new Harry Potter trio. But it's just again like Ned was my least favorite character in this whole movie. I did not enjoy him. I did not enjoy his scenes. I didn't think he was funny. I didn't like his character.
Yeah.
Him talking so much in the beginning to the police was one of the most annoying things ever.
Yeah, that actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck he didn't shut the hell up.
I'm just like, you just.
There's always that character that's
it's
like we get it's a movie.
Like he went from being a comedic relief. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not saying the person himself.
Yeah.
I'm saying
about
the way they written
the characterization of Ned. The person.
If
Ned
we knew
in
that
this
person,
movie was my least.
Yeah.
My least favorite because I just didn't enjoy him, and also like because I'm such a fan of Harry Potter. I picked up on the fact that they're trying to push the trio so much. But the thing is, they're pushing the trio so much at the end of the trilogy, of this first trilogy. Yeah, I'm sure that other things are coming, but now he has to start all over from the beginning to build these friendships. Harry Potter, those friendships were there from day one and lasted 10 years. So they're trying to give them that 10-year feeling in one movie.
Well, think about it. Maybe they're trying to get rid of it because that wasn't, to me, I don't ever remember a Ned or him having a trio.
I'm saying that they introduced it now in this one because before it was just about Spider-Man himself. Now they're introducing Spider-Man his team.
Ned was always, they were...
Yes, but it wasn't pushed.
Like
it wasn't pushed like a trio. Like... The three of them do interviews all the time. If you go back to Spider-Man 1 and 2, interviews were only happening with Spider-Man or Zendaya. Maybe with Ned. This one, you only see them three. So they're pushing this Harry Potter characteristic of, here's your new favorite trio. Here's your new favorite trio. But the thing is like, it doesn't connect the same way. It doesn't feel as good and it doesn't feel as authentic as the Harry Potter trio because like it just feels forced. And Ned for me is the biggest issue there because for me he's trying too hard. He's trying way too hard. And I'm just like I understand the different layers of the team Spider-Man, but like you're like, this is why I love Team Flash. It's different layers, but everyone contributes very, very importantly to the team. Ned doesn't feel that way. I guess that's why they gave him a power now so he can contribute. But for me, it's too little too late. And I'm already over him. And I'd rather not have Ned as a character. Like,
I can see how
let's give him,
like,
let's give him a new best friend. I'm totally down. Like, Ned moved to another side of the country, or he's working somewhere elsewhere, and now it's about MJ and him. Because Ned didn't make the movie pleasurable for me.
Now, how do you feel about MJ in the movie?
I love her because I love Zendaya.
Okay.
No, she did good. She did justice
Love her.
to be Michelle, not Mary Jane Watson that everyone knows. She's Michelle Jones Watson.
She doesn't go
Right.
by Watson.
So I did like her acting. She's always been good.
They pushed
you know?
her in the
She's
second one to
definitely been
act like, you
really
know,
good.
more. I loved it though.
No, I definitely
This
loved
one though, she did her
Zendaya.
best.
I thought she was great. I thought, you know, you felt more of their relationship. You felt more of their connection, which I really enjoyed.
And technically, their relationship just started too. Remember, it's right after Far From Home, so it's like, damn. Like, imagine you losing that the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
They've been together for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lord.
And then it's just gone like that. But I would love this. I want them to go back together at least.
I love what Mello said about the whole school thing. Like, he was like, why don't you just go get homeschooled? With all this drama going into
everyone's gonna
school.
Everyone's gonna bombard that apartment
But
though.
I said that in the beginning of the movie, and then at the end, when he moved into his apartment, was the first textbook that they showed.
The GED.
A GED textbook. So it shows you that he did leave high school because it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous.
Oh, I didn't even
so
notice
he
that.
left high school and got his GED.
Wow.
He's smart too. Don't get me wrong.
No,
but, yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, he was always smart.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Peter Parker, that was Peter Parker the nerd, which was one of the reasons why I hated Andrew Garfield so much. Not him, the person, his rendition of Peter Parker / Spider-Man, because
Well, Spider-Man was good though.
No, it was not. His Spider-Man was, he made his Spider-Man everything that Spider-Man is not supposed to be.
But
Spider-Man is not, Peter Parker is not supposed to be cool. He's not supposed to be witty. He's not supposed to be charming, charismatic, and this person. Peter Parker is supposed to be nerdy and introvert. And through his power and through his experiences is how he learns to become more confident and more expressive and more of a person, like, of that type of person. Andrew, I'm just like,
no, his Spider-Man
Lord,
though, I love
throw
this.
it away.
But he's
Throw it
amazing.
away.
No, you're amazing.
Nah, but
he's amazing.
what I can say about Andrew Garfield though is that I love his Spider-Man, that he talks shit because, you know, that's what Spider-Man is. He loves to talk his shit. He can't
No,
quit.
that's not what Spider-Man is.
Mello, what?
Deadpool talks his
Mello,
shit.
but
Spider-Man
never talks shit.
Spider-Man
Mello.
is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he knows.
Where does that say? If you are called the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, you do not talk shit. That's why you never see Spider-Man with liquor or smoke or anything. Because
I'm not talking
that
about
character...
that.
I'm saying the reason you don't see that is because his character is so wholesome, they will not ruin his image or reputation with stuff like that. So that's why I disagree with what you just said, because no.
I mean, when he fights his villains, he likes to like have a lot of like he will talk shit.
He doesn't talk shit. He has witty
Quips.
witty comments. He's a commentator at a ball. You don't know what that is, but if CJ was here, he's a commentator at a ball. He makes like
fun or something.
little one-liners
Quips.
at these moments. Yeah, but that one-liners don't make a full character.
I mean, I don't know. That's how he is. I don't want to say comics, but you already know I'm gonna say comics. But
Yeah, but again, I'm not going off of the comics.
I
I'm
know.
going off of the
That's why I
movies.
didn't want to say it. You know.
So it's like, that's why I can't think about the comics and all the whatever comics I've read and stuff, because that's not what we're looking at.
The movie. Yeah.
We're looking at the movie. What did they do with the movie?
That's why I didn't want to mention it, because it'll say that. But
Yeah.
overall though, I can officially say that I fuck with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like I already did, but now him finally growing up, I'm like, yes, this is what he needs, the push.
I think I will feel. I guess the next movie will make me feel more. Will make more in that sense. Like I just need to see
what they do with the character.
Yeah, because I'm glad I saw this at home
instead of theaters.
And I didn't spend the money to go see it in the theaters because especially after like the end credit scenes, like if that was what I was supposed to be hype about, I would have been pissed. Because them end credit scenes, like even like there's a person that I watch on YouTube all the time, and he was like, oh my god, the end credit scenes, like the last one especially, and everything, it's like everything good. Oh, it was a trailer of Doctor Strange 2. Got it. Okay.
I mean,
which it cute, fun. We saw dark Doctor Strange. Dark Doctor Strange. But again, I want more.
Wait, let's just see what the other trailers bring to us, okay? Because that first trailer didn't leave a good impression on you or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it because Wanda and seeing what she does. And like that's what I'm excited for.
In the movie or anything? No. Oh.
I'm excited to see Wanda in that aspect. And that was good, and to see how they kind of work together and everything. But, and I'm excited to see the Dark Doctor Strange too. That seems interesting. But overall, the movie was good. It was fun.
I watched it in
I definitely
IMAX.
get why people, love it so much. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I would definitely tell people to see it a lot.
I watched it in IMAX. It was a good experience. Hearing everyone screaming, laughing, crying. I was one of the few that cried 6 times. There were a couple. Oh. I did not expect a Spider-Man movie to make me cry that much, but when I saw Tobey, I just had to. It felt like that one scene from Ratatouille when the guy eats Ratatouille, he turns into a kid. That's legit. When I saw him again, I legit felt like a kid wearing the Spider-Man pajamas, and I'm like, damn. And it made me depressed because I'm like, damn, he's old, and I'm getting older. And then when Doc Ock said, "Look at you again, you're growing up," and I'm like, I felt like that was he was talking to like the young, the people that saw Spider-Man 1 for the first time. I'm like, damn, I feel it,
It definitely gave me a moment of like when we watch wrestling sometimes, or like when we watch movies and stuff, and you see like your favorite character come back. Like when you watch Power Rangers, see Tommy come back, you're like, it's Tommy, he's gonna kick ass, and then he's all old, and you're like, oh, he's still kicking ass. Or the Undertaker, and he's dying, but you're like, oh, he's still the best. Like that's how I feel with Shawn Michaels.
this movie made me feel like a kid again. I'm happy about that. Good. And just seeing Tobey I like the other 2 Spider-Mans, but him just schooling these 2 other Spider-Mans.
Yes, Tobey.
That shit.
Tobey coming from the other Spider-Mans was so good. When they showed the spider webs and everything, that was fun. I did enjoy a lot of the. Really I enjoyed a lot of the banter and conversations between the 3 Spider-Men.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
Peter.
I thought it was really cool. It was really clever. There's a lot of good stuff in this movie. You know. A lot of good stuff. There's more good stuff than there is bad stuff, for sure.
I definitely think
they handle fan service well. Yeah. Like I said, they handle fan service better than Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Well, whatever the fuck.
I don't know what that is.
Well,
I wouldn't even be able to tell you what fan service is because I don't know nothing.
Well, let's just say it shits on that one.
But I love how much of Tobey and Andrew they use in this movie compared to what everyone else probably thought or felt.
They're only gonna use them
because they probably thought it was gonna be a cameo, or they're gonna use them.
I thought they were only gonna come in at the end of the big fight.
It'll be like just them popping up then. But they were a part of a lot of everything. Like Tobey, and they all created the cure for
not for
the
nothing.
villains.
In a way, Tobey and Andrew became his Uncle Ben.
Technically,
in that moment when Aunt May died and they were on the roof, they they became Uncle Ben in a strange way. Like, it's different Spider-Man, but it's like
they struggle with the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. We've all been through the same thing, and we've all been through the same exact thing.
And
we lost the most important person to us, and not just we lost them. They were lost right in front of us.
For them being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like in Into the Spider... I was going to talk about this too. Into the Spider-Verse, when all of them are just in the room, they're like... Even the pig is like, this job doesn't get easier.
Even Miles.
Yeah.
Miles loses his uncle.
And even the pig is like, look...
And his uncle and him were like super close.
Wait, the pig lost
He's like,
somebody?
no. Like, the pig literally explained to him, like, look, Miles, that having this job... means you're gonna lose people you love.
The pig lost somebody too?
I mean, he's Spider-Man. Every Spider-Man's gonna lose. It's a tragic story. Like,
in order for you to become a full-fledged Spider-Man, you lose
someone you love.
Again, it's the absolute point. Just like Doctor Strange. He became Doctor Strange because of losing
his arm,
the female.
Oh no. Well,
in What If?
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
In What If?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You're going by the What If.
It's the absolute point. You know, so like, Uncle Ben or Peter Parker's parent dying is an absolute point, because it is the reason he becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah. And
wait, you brought something up. So is that story not real? Because in Doctor Strange, he didn't lose the...
No, that was the What If.
That was
like, what if he lost his heart?
That was in What If. In the original movie, he lost his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so...
Yeah.
So, he never lost his hands in What If.
Yeah, no, he lost his heart.
No, okay.
But like, like, I love that they tell you like, hey, it's all fun games, but to be honest, Spider-Man is not an easy job. You're gonna lose people you love.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
it's a sacrifice.
Like Miles losing Prowlers, losing Aunt May, or wherever, both. You know, like Gwen Stacy. You're gonna lose people you love, and it's not easy. So I love how in this. Wow, I'm looking. You can't see, but when he was talking to Doctor Strange, saying, "Do it." I know that what's gonna happen. I would try to figure. Well, I don't know if he's gonna figure it out, but I love the fact that he chose to save his friends' lives. Well, we're not telling him that he's.
No, he chose to be selfless, not selfish. Because in the beginning of the movie, he was like, "Oh, I want to save this person from remembering," and he realized, you know what, like, just for the safety of everybody. Because not for nothing, that was a lesson that Green Goblin taught him.
Even Lizard said it too.
Because Green Goblin came right into the place where Aunt May was, befriended them, and look, he's the one who ended up killing her. Mm-hmm. So it was a real lesson learned right then and there for him.
Mm-hmm. And Lizard said there are consequences, you know, like. So like.
Listen, the Lizard to me was a little.
Yeah, it was a little.
He was a little. What you gonna say?
I don't want to.
I don't think you're gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I think he was a little fruity too.
Tootie.
When he was talking to Electro, talking about you got a makeover. I could
make you to a lizard.
It wasn't a game. You're so stupid. I hate you.
Oh my god.
You're not trying to equate that.
Fucking lizard talking to Jamie Foxx.
He was like, ooh,
I remember you had a comb over.
Some dark meat.
No.
I hate that you always have to make something gay.
No.
Listen, I'm gay.
Overall, though.
Listen. All right, so to conclude this, what do we give it? Wait, stop that. What do we give this from a 1 to 10? Let's rate it, each of us.
8.
I give it 9.
I'm gonna give it a 10 just because a child. I don't know. I just feel like a kid watching it again. This is personal to me. I just love seeing Toby again in the suit again. It felt different, so I give it a 10. Even though there are flaws, but it's fucking Spider-Man. Like, come on, man.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in for our rant and our review. Our rant review of Spider-Man No Way Home. Stay tuned for the next episode. This was a quick reaction review of our first and second time of seeing Spider-Man No Way Home. So, hope you enjoyed. And I'm your host, CJ.
I'm your Carmelo.
I'm Nitro Saki, aka Chongo.
And we'll see you on the next episode. Later.
See you in the next episode.